Welcome back, fellas. Let's put this in the ether. You know it. Um, there's a lot of men out there that's going through life don't know how to distinguish a crazy woman, and what do? They impregnate crazy women, and that leads to a lot of problems, right? Problem with like what infanticides, their significant others or whatever, the women, the ladies end up going crazies and killing their babies and all that stuff, right? And all this thing could have been prevented if guys would have known or learned the signs of how to pick a crazy woman out of the bunch and not fornicate with crazy women. And you know, it's not their fault, right? Because they wasn't equipped with the proper knowledge of how to distinguish a crazy woman from a sane woman out there. And there's a lot of men out there who are impregnating or affiliating themselves with crazy women. And guys need to stop that. Guys need to learn how to vet these women. That's why you have to vet these women. It's like a job application, right? You just don't hire people off the street without knowing who they are. How do they think? How do they function? How do they relate to other people? How they communicate, right? How do they present themselves, right? So you have to vet these women like it's no tomorrow, right? Because you don't know what type of women these women are. Remember, these women, they're great liars. They're great actors, right? They're not going to tell you anything up front. You need to know how to vet these women, or else you affiliate yourself with terrible women. And unfortunately, there's a lot of terrible women out there. There's a lot of women who make terrible choices in life. There are a lot of women who make terrible partners. There's a lot of women, right, who don't make any sense, who make nonsensical decisions in their lives, right? And we have people out there or men out there who make the wrong decision all the time just because just because you look good, just because you need to stick his thing in somewhere, or he just want to get a quick, punani here and there. Dude, that might be a quick solution for satisfaction, but you have to think about the long run. What are the consequences of you sticking your dick in her, right? What are the consequences of you impregnating her, right? Do you want her to be the mother of your child? Do you want her to off your children? Do you want her to do this, do that? This is your offspring. This is your seed you're talking about here. You have to be a man. You gotta be careful where you plant your seed in, man. And we have other guys out there who don't care. These are the simp men. But you have to distinguish yourself from the simp men and a man of a priority, a man of quality out there, man. You just don't want to fornicate with some random women out there. Next, get her pregnant, right? Women out there right now are breaking down because they are unfit mothers, right? They've been forced to not forced to marry, make the wrong decision to get married, think that it could be a good mother, a good wife. With actuality, they're second guessing themselves. They're second guessing their ability to be a mother, a wife. They didn't know what to expect because they didn't have the proper upbringing, right? They didn't have the proper guidance, right? There's a lot of women out there who lack guidance, right? Who lack awareness of how to be a mother, how to be a wife, and they're put in these positions where guys are unknowingly, right, wifing up these women, and then find it the hard way that they make terrible wives, terrible partners, terrible mothers, and then they're breaking down, making videos on TikTok, crying, have postpartum depressions, right? Regretting. There are women out there who are on TikToks making videos, right? Who said that they don't want to be a parent anymore. They don't want to be a mother anymore. What are the danger of this? The danger of this is that she could off your children, man. When a woman who second guess her ability to be a parent, you don't know what is she capable of. There's news clip of mothers out there offering out their kids out there, man. Not just babies, but full grown kids in their teens, right? Because they feel like they can't handle the pressure of being a parent. Imagine, look, if a woman she's like in her mid-20s, all of a sudden she have babies back to back to back to back, right? And then she's an open woman with all these crying babies all the time when she's not an unfit mother, right? And she have all these kids. What's that gonna lead to? It's gonna lead to a psychological breakdown, right? A lot of women out there have a lot of psychological breakdown, right? So in order to prevent this, guys, you need to vet your woman to see if she's capable of being a parent, right? And if you don't vet her correctly, right, there are dire consequences you have to face, right? If I impregnate a woman, I do not want anything done or anything harm to my kids, right? Remember, the dad is the guys who established the order of the family. Without the father, without the man in the picture, right, there is no order. Right? You have to establish some kind of guidelines, some kind of dominancy over your wife and make sure she's in the proper guideline, the proper mental health conditions. If she's not in the proper mental health condition, do not wife her up. Don't marry her, right? Don't marry. And you need to look at the signs. All my videos out there in the past, it shows you the sign, what to look for. The red flags, right? If she's stable, what is her answer when you communicate to her? Right? What is her decision? What is her background? Does she have a proper upbringing? Does she have a father in her life? Does she have a proper mother in her life? Does she come from a stable background? Right? What are her intentions and goals? What are her prospect in the future? Does she want to be a mother? Right? A lot of girls out there, they say they want to be a mother, but in actuality, they just want to be wifed up and just chill. Most of these women don't want to be mothers. When put in the hard situations, right, they crack under pressures, right? This is why I don't believe most women out there are unable to handle stress as much as men, right? Why do you think there are a lot of men who are in fields out there who deal with a lot of stress, right? And why do you think women aren't in this field? Because they can't handle stress as well as men. When you apply a lot of stress, right, on women, they will crack down. You can see it, right? They're going to have a mental breakdown, a meltdown, question their ability if they could be mothers or not, right? You have to vet these women extensively, right? It's like, when a guy applies for a cop position, a police officer, you know how many background check a guy had to go through just to pass the rank, just to get into the academy, right? Just to be considered as a rookie cop, right? They got a cop or even a parole officer. They go all the way back to their records from elementary school to see what kind of kids you are, right? They look at your permanent records. That's how extensive it is for a cop to be a cop out there. Now, you have to do that as a man, right? Don't just commit to a woman just because she look good, man. Just because she tell you all the things she wanted you to hear. They're going to tell you all the things you want to hear for you to wife them up. You have to go back, right, to her father. Ask her how she's like as a kid. Ask her friends how she like as a kid. Ask her neighbor, all this stuff. Right? Is there any embarrassing moments? Is there any questionable activities that she done? Right? And she had to be honest with you. I know it's hard for guys to get a woman to be honest with them, but if that's another red flag as well. If she's not honest with you, you shouldn't be marrying her. If she's holding something back from you, you shouldn't be marrying her. You shouldn't wife a woman like this up in the first place, right? And I already made my sense clear. I'm not for wifing up modern day women. I'm not for that. I mean, you could have a relationship with them, but I'm not for that. But if you wanted to, that's if you wanted to. I'm not holding you back. I'm not telling you guys what to do, right? That's your choice. But, in this day and age, it's very dangerous to do that, right? So it's very hard to commit to these women if you don't know who they are, if you don't know their background, if they're insane or not insane, if they're going to have postpartum depression. Like I told you in my previous video, a lot of women out there are on psychiatric medications. A lot of them are. And not only that, most of them out there are not even diagnosed. They have undiagnosed psychological problems, right? So you gotta be very careful. Like I said, out of all the population of women, I said 90% of the women are unwifey material. They're not relationship material. Like 90% of them, right? So what does that mean? Most of them aren't that great at all, right? They might perceive as great, but they're, especially these day and age modern women, right? They've been infiltrated. They've been corrupt. Their minds been tainted, smeared everywhere, right? So that's why you have to do, especially women today, you have to do an extensive background on them to see who they are. Because you don't want them to be on the 6 o'clock news one day and hearing the worst news ever. That you're at work and next thing you know, she's committing all these heinous acts on your children, on herself, right? Because these stuff happens. But on that note, guys, let me know what you think, right? You think men have to extensively vet their women? You think a lot of women are undiagnosed, manic depressant, or something like that? Let me know you agree, man. Leave a comment below if you like my video. I drop videos daily. If you want to support my channels, right? Like, share, subscribe. On that note, guys, as always, peace and blessings.